Hello everyone, welcome to Aptly Place Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on fortnight current affair, also known as FC, where I'll be looking into the 10 important news for the entire fortnight. This is fortnight 2 for the month of February. The coverage of this initiative include three important components. The first is the Hindu, Indian Express, and the PIB. So for the entire fortnight, the news that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed. And these are the list of the topic that I'll be discussing with you, the 10 important topic that include G20 hold discussion on the crypto assets, Chandrayaan-3 landers complete the key test, WMO reports on the sea level rise, World Meteorological Organization. The fourth edition of Biennial Aero India. Geoscience community calls for panel on heritage bill. Uttarakhand's new anti-cheating law. India, Singapore launched UPI Pay Now linkages. Cabinet clear ITBP battalion for the China border. Manipur hosted B20 conference, and the last is India, Italy to enhance the defense pact. So we'll be looking into each and every news one by one specifically. And before I start this session, those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Aptly Place Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. And before we start with the discussion part, just to give you an information about the Prelims Marathon 2023. This is an All India Open mock test, a great opportunity for all the aspirant who will be appearing for the Civil Services Examination 2023, where you can excel your preparation up to 7 times by ongoing through the mock test. This test will include coverage from the both General Studies Paper 1 and 2. There are citing offers for the aspirants for the top 3 and their cash prizes which will be also there. This course is starting from 5th of March. What you have to do, you have to register yourself. A link is there in the description section of this video. The test is aligned in a manner and in a fashion, it's actually parallel to the stimulated parameters for the UPSC. So make sure you are thorough the part, you are well prepared before you actually go for the real examination. And none other best than the Prelims Marathon 2023 will give you an extra advantages. Now, the first news, that is G20 hold a discussion on crypto asset regulations. Recently, India held a discussion on G20 members country that called for a need to develop a standard operating procedures SOP की बात की गई है इंडिया की तरफ से in terms of crypto asset. Now, if you see the part of regulation coming from RBI has categorically highlighted the concern with regards to cryptocurrencies, and it has, in terms of Bitcoin, RBI has said that it will not be allowed in India. The crypto assets and Web3 were relatively a new evolving sectors that require significant international collaborations for specific legislation to this sector to be fully effective. Now, India's crypto asset industries की अगर बात करें, the India crypto assets industries was witnessed exponential growth in the last 5 years. You see, in the last 5 years, in terms of cryptocurrency, crypto assets, and even the mining part has increased to a larger extent. Presently, the country exported around 15 million crypto holders to have 6.6 billion of the total crypto asset holding. And India now has the crypto unicorn with over 350 startups that is there flourishing in the country. Now, recent cases की अगर बात करें, the recent collapse of the crypto exchange FTX, से government ने तब से कोशिश की है that there should be a regulation that should be come up, and a spotlight for the vulnerabilities of the crypto ecosystem is also there. The crypto assets are self-referential instrument that do not restrict the past for being the financial asset because they have an intrinsic cash value attached to them. So this is something important because government will definitely formally regulate the sector because a lot of entities are involved there. The US regulator have disqualified Bitcoin, Ether, and various kind of crypto asset as a security. Now, Chandrayaan-3 landers complete key test. Again, very important milestone for India, where the country is endeavoring towards getting a potential in the mission. According to the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, Chandrayaan-3 lander mission has successfully undergone with the EMI and EMC test. EMI stand for electromagnetic interference and EMC is electromagnetic compatibility. तो ये दोनों टेस्ट सक्सेसफुली हुई है Chandrayaan-3 लैंडर के साथ. And even the third moon mission that is slated to be launched This year from the Satish Dhawan Space Center. Many a time a direct question from the launch center is also asked in the examination. So in 2019, there was a maiden approach that was there, a rover which landed to moon, but the effort was unsuccessful. And subsequently, this is the third mission that ISRO has come up with. Now, the Chandrayaan-3 is likely to be launched in the month of June. और EMI EMC test की अगर बात करें, this is to be conducted for satellite missions to ensure the functionals of the satellite subsystem, how they are actually functioning, the space environment, the compatibility, and the expected electromagnetic level. So this is a kind of a trial part, the testing part that is essentially required. So EMI and EMC test is again something that is relevant for a pre-success, right? So एक pre-testing की जाती है EMI और EMC की. The test is a major milestone in realization of the satellites. Now about Chandrayaan-3, this is an upcoming lunar exploration missions. It is the third mission in the Chandrayaan series following the Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2. After these two missions were actually there, government has finally decided, the ISRO has finally decided to come up with Chandrayaan-3. और प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स की अगर बात करें Chandrayaan-3 की, तो एक rover on the lunar surface will taking a scientific explorations with a study of composition of the moon surfaces and subsurfaces. The mission is also aimed at demonstrating India's technology capabilities in the lunar mission, because there are other countries which have explored. The country like United States have already done it. So Chandrayaan-3 is an interplanetary mission that has three major modules: propulsion module, lander module, and rover. So these three are the important component of Chandrayaan-3. The mission has a complexity calling for the establishment of radio frequency communications link between the modules. Now the other news, that is WMO report on the sea level rise is again a threat. This is with regards to the concern with the environment and sustainability of the environment. According to the new report which was published by the World Meteorological Organization, the population potential exposed to 100-year coastal flood is projected to increase by 20% if the global mean sea level is rise by 15 meters to a relative 2020 level. So this is a caution coming from WMO, and these are the factual information that will also help you in the mains examination. According to the figure estimate, based on the climate model, ocean atmospheric physics and the speed of melting of the last global ice mass in the Antarctica is certain. So this is what the report has categorically said. अगर ocean atmosphere physics की बात करें, so it says that the speed of melting of the large global ice mass in Antarctica is uncertain, because some of the report was also there that these mass or ice sheet must be melting. But again, the report specifically highlighted what is the exact situation over there. Now, countries with highest threat of sea levels, अगर बात करें कुछ countries की, that include India, China, Bangladesh, and Netherlands are the highest threat of the sea level rise globally. And the global sea rise and implication has started several big cities to be the part of it. कुछ cities की अगर बात करें, Shanghai, Dhaka, Bangkok, Jakarta, Mumbai, Maputo, Lagos, Carillon, London, Copenhagen, New York, Los Angeles, Buenos Aires, and Santiago. So these are the cities which comparatively are more vulnerable to the sea level rise. And sea level rise threaten the coast and farmland and the water reserve and the resilience of infrastructure as well as human life and the livelihoods. Now, what are the impact of climate change? If you see the part of the repercussion that climate change can have, so climate change will increase the pressures on food and productions excess, especially for the vulnerable communities. So these are the likely repercussions and the negative effect, undermining the food security and nutrition and increase in frequency, intensity and severity of droughts, flood and heat wave. अगर climate change होती है तो droughts भी देखी जा सकती है, floods can be there, even the heat waves will be there. Continued sea level rise will increase the risk of food security in the vulnerable region also. 14th edition of Biennial Aero India exercise, or you can say the part that takes place in Bangalore. The Prime Minister recently inaugurated the 14th edition of Biennial Aero India exhibitions. The exhibition showcased the country emerging as a manufacturing hub with the military aircraft, helicopters equipped with the new age avionics. This was a 5-day exhibition which has called for the participants of 809 defense companies from 98 different countries. Theme क्या थी 14 editions Aero India की? The theme was the runway to billion opportunity that has reiterated the rise for the growth and self-reliance India or New India by displaying the country's growth in aerospace and the defense capabilities. Now, focus of the event, what was the main priority which India was looking forward with? The focus of the biennial aero exhibitions was on displaying the indigenous equipments. जैसे नई टेक्नोलॉजीज की अगर बात करें, forging partnership with foreign companies, even the Make in India, Make for World vision which Government of India has envisaged. And even Aero India has acted as a catalyst further the growth of aerospace sector, which will help realizing the country aim to become the self-reliance in the defense manufacturing. The event was significantly contributing to the development of aerospace and the aviation sectors. तो एरोस्पेस और एविएशन दोनों सेक्टर्स एक ऐसी पोटेंशियल सेक्टर है जिन पे इस इवेंट में ध्यान दी गई. Now, the coverage of the Aero India include the design leadership, growth in the UAV and even the defense sector and the futurist technology. कुछ important aims of indigenous airplanes की अगर बात करें, the platform like light compact aircraft, Tejas, HTT-40 Dornier Light Utility Helicopter जिसे LUH भी कहते हैं, LCH Light Compact Helicopters and ALH that is Advanced Light Helicopters. और ये सारी चीजें इंटीग्रेट की जाएगी माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस स्टार्टअप्स के साथ, सो दैट दे कैन हैव अ कम्पिटिटिव global supply chain and attract foreign investment, including the partnership with co-development and co-productions. Now, geoscience community called for panel on heritage bill. This is what the committee has specifically highlighted. The Geo Draft Site or Geo Relics Preservation and Maintenance Bill for the protection of Indian geoheritage sites has alarmed the concern over the vesting power with the Geological Survey of India. तो GSI को इस पे पावर दी गई है और एक्सपर्ट का कहना है कि ASI should be the body which is actually looking for the part of restoration and conservation. So this body should be empowered, not the GSI, which is specifically a body which is meant for research and exploration, right? So the scientists have alleged that without consultation, the bill was particularly prepared, and even the proposed bill 2019 was not discussed, right? And this is completely different, which was the bill at that point of time in 2019 had a discussion, but the recent one do not have any discussion with the expert holders. Now, even the scientists said that the Prime Minister office at the national level has consulted the expert to need for restoration of geoheritage sites and other fossil fuels research areas which can be there, but this time the stakeholders were not consulted. Now, the bone of contention, what is the main confusion and where the problem has emerged? So, जो नई bill आई है that empowered to denotify the geoheritage sites and believe that it ceased to have a national importance without public consultation. तो किसी भी एक साइट को बिना पब्लिक के कंसल्टेशन से उसे डीनोटिफाई की जा सकती है that particular site is no more an important geoheritage site, right? This power has been vested, has been given to the Geological Survey of India. Right. However, it has raised concern for the geologists and said that GSI is not a body which handle this task. Right. उनके लिए conservation उनकी core area नहीं है, उनकी core area है research. So why power has been vested to GSI? The Archaeological Survey of India, that is the ASI, is an experienced body, and that particular body, that is ASI, should be vested with more power compared to the GSI. Now, aim of the bill protect India geological heritage sites, sedimentary rocks, natural rocks that has raised alarm to the geoscience and paleometric community, right? So, जो paleontology communities हैं, and even for the including the fossil, sedimentary rocks and natural structures, that should be the part of the draft bill, and it actually aimed to protect the geological heritage site. So, if a main theme is asked in the examination, you have to say that this particular bill is aimed to protect the geoheritage sites. Now, provisions under the bill, it empower and declare that has the geoheritage value, take possessions of relics, that is fossil rock, rest with the private hand. It prohibit the construction activities within 100 meter around such site. And the penalty for this has increased to 5 lakh, possibly an imprisonment will also be there. So together, there can be the penal provisions. And government has even strengthened the part of penal provision compared to the earlier one. Uttarakhand new anti-cheating law, something very important. In recent times, we have seen a lot of cheating activities going for many states. In light of that, Uttarakhand government has recently come up with some stringent rules and laws. So recently, the state government of Uttarakhand has approved the Uttarakhand competitive examination, the measures for prevention and unfair means for the recruitment, Ordinance 2023, which call for transparency, probability in the competitive examination. तो ये एक पहली स्टेट बन गई है जिसने इतने strict laws लाए हैं. Before that, Uttar Pradesh was a government which has come up with some rules, but that was not as strict as the Uttarakhand government. Now, क्या provisions रखे गए हैं? Basically, as per the provision, there will be a fine of 10 crore rupees and an imprisonment if anyone found to be guilty of doing those particular ordinance में अगर बात करें, cheating और even causing any competitive examinations online or offline किसी भी मोड में illegal means use की जाती है, so that individual should be imprisonment for 3 years and a minimum 5 lakh rupees will be there. And if he is repeating the same, he can be jailed for another 9 months, right? And if a fine is also not paid, so an extra part of the imprisonment will increase to up to 9 months. And if he is a second offender again, then there will be a jail term of plus 10 years and 10 lakh rupees as a default payment, which will be there. And again, this act is a cognizable offense, non-bailable offense and non-compoundable offense. So this is again point to be noted. इस बिल के अंदर जितने भी पेनल्टी की लगाई जाएंगी, even the part of the ordinance says that this act will be something that is cognizable, non-bailable and non-compoundable. Now, aim behind the law is to prevent the related laws to obstruction of sanctity of the examination, जिस तरह से यूज ऑफ अनफेयर मीन्स हो रही है, लीकेजेस ऑफ क्वेश्चंस पेपर हो रहे हैं और जो इरेगुलरिटीज है उनको खत्म किया जा सके. It covered the public examination for recruitment of the state government, autonomous body, and even the for examination that is there for corporations, institutional operated with the grant of the state government. तो जितनी भी गवर्नमेंट की मशीनरीज के लिए रिक्रूटमेंट की जाती है उन सारी चीजों पे ये एप्लीकेबल होंगी. Now the recent scam, there were a lot of allegations about the government intentions. So there has been some multiple paper leak in 2016. And the recent Uttarakhand government examination was also where paper was leaked. And again, in 1.6 lakh students appear for the examination and a lot of the students' stake was there. So after the consultation, the government has announced that the alleged loss of the paper is something a concern for the state government and finally a regulation should be brought in. So this triggered the protest also for the UKPSC Patwari and accounted examination, and 1.4 lakh candidates appear for 563 vacancies. So you see the number of vacancies are less, the apparent are more, the applicant and the aspirant are more. So the reason if the fair process is not taken care of, a lot of the part of the career is involved. People are investing a lot many time while they prepare, and these things are not put in place. So they will definitely waste their the best possible number of years that is actually with them. So the reason being the government of Uttarakhand has come up with a decision where they have taken a proper care. Now, India and Singapore launched UPI Pay Now linkages, something important for your specific part of the economy and international relations question also. Recently, India and Singapore has linked the system to enable the real-time money transfer between the two nations, and India Unified Payment Interface was integrated to the Singapore Pay Now. जिस तरह से India UPI use करती, there's a Pay Now company which is there. So they will ensure a faster, transparent remittances between the two countries. If you send money to any other countries, it takes none less than 24 to 48 hours to get the settlement done. Now, after this, there will be instant transfer of money. The Prime Minister, along with the Singapore counterpart, has launched it via video conferencing. Now, what is the advantages? The real-time money transfer will be benefiting the migrant workers, specifically the professional student and their families, the foreign remittances between the two countries. Singapore has the largest number of students and even the substantial inbound and outbound remittances every year, meaning the UPI and Pay Now users will be able to send and receive fund the participant financial institutions across the two countries in real time. Now, the users can use the mobile number like you use in UPI. You enter your passcode, your PIN, and after which a payment is proceeded. The same process will be followed in this case also. Now, boost to the cross-border retail payments. अगर बात करें इस move की, this will boost the cross-border retail payment, and the UPI linkages is significantly a milestone in development of infrastructure. चाहे वो cross-border payments की बात हो between India and Singapore. और दोनों countries में अगर देखें value की, that has more than 74 billion transaction with a worth of 126 trillion, right? Which is something which is carried out by the UPI. So it has a huge potential, and that was a need of the hour for the collaboration between India and Singapore. The UPI Pay Now linkages is the world's first real-time payment system that is linked to such scale level, where it is called for the cloud-based infrastructure, which can accommodate the future increase and the value of remittances traffic. So the company name is important for you. For the other competitive examination, it can ask you which is the company name. So UPI and Pay Now of Singapore. Now, also, there's a first linkage to feature the non-bank financial institutions as a participants. Now, Cabinet clear ITBP battalions for China border. Recently, the Cabinet Committee on Security, which is again headed by the Prime Minister, basically he is the one who take care of the part. So he's approved the additional battalion for the ITBP and Indo-China border. The Cabinet Committee on Security has established for 47 new borders, out of which 20 strength camps will be there in the view of more than effective surveillance. And this will call for strengthening the borders area surveillance. We have seen in the recent time in the line of actual control in the eastern Ladakh region, there were a lot of tussle ongoing between India and China. So besides raising the 7 additional battalions, the CCS has given approval to set up one sector headquarters, the ITBP also. Now this will strengthen the force. The move will increase the Central Armed Police forces with more than 10%. An additional 7 battalion will be raised at Arunachal Pradesh with 7 additional battalion at sector headquarters, that is thereby completing by 2025 and 26. So the infrastructure development will take place, and again, if things are put in place, more forces can be deployed in future. The decision has been taken into account considering the fact that the armies of India and China are engaged in the standoff in Eastern Ladakh region, specifically Ladakh के जो regions हैं वहाँ पे. ITBP was raised after 1962 Chinese aggressions and guard 3,488 line of actual control in the eastern flank of the region. Now, this will also boost the tourism in the view of bolstering the social security and framework. China border, the Union Cabinet has also allocated 4,800 crore rupees of Vibrant Village program to stop the migrations and boost tourism in the village. That will further improve the quality of life of the people living there. Now, Manipur hosts B20 conference, again something important for like the northeastern state which is organizing some important events. So the northeastern state of Manipur has recently hosted the first business B20 conference. B20 conference की बात की जाए, Manipur is a state. It can be important for many other government examination. And B20 officials dialogue in a forum that businesses community is basically that take place as a part of the global community of the G20 dialogues. And delegates from 23 countries are participating in the B20 sessions in Manipur. About B20, B20 is an event which is a part of the G20 summit. It's meant to express the common view in international business community. The main purpose consists in developing recommendations and relevant documents for the business leader and the business organization to deal with the contemporary issues. Now, there's a plenary session which was organized with this. So investment and opportunities on the support ecosystem for doing business in Manipur was one area that was explored. Opportunities in the core sector, healthcare and medical tourism, tourism and hospitality, information and communications technology, and handloom and textile. So these were the sectors upon which the plenary sessions focuses upon. Participant nations की अगर बात करें, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, अर्जेंटीना, बांग्लादेश, भूटान, कनाडा, चाइना, फ्रांस, ग्रीस, Iceland, Japan, Nepal, Russia, Seychelles, Singapore, South Africa, Switzerland, Tunisia, and Uganda, United States, and United Kingdom. So these were the participant countries, and these countries together comprise of 85% of the world GDP. Now, India and Italy to enhance the defense pact. India and Italy are expected to enhance the discussions about the bilateral defense cooperation that is likely to be announced during the Italian Prime Minister visit to India, which was already been made. And Italian Prime Minister visited India as a chief guest of the Raisina Dialogue Conference, which is again an important dialogue to look into the part of international fraternity, what is going on in terms of international relations. Now, the Defense Ministry, the Defense Minister held the talks with the Italy Secretary of State for the Defense in Bangalore on the sideline of Aero India Summit. Now, Indo-Pacific strategy. The Italian Prime Minister will be the third Italy Prime Minister to visit India. Both countries will prioritize the efforts towards Indo-Pacific strategy of defense agreement. And apart from this, India, Japan, and Italy has also joined a trilateral work towards the progress and stability and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific region. And India and Italy has engaged in the multilateral fora of Indian Ocean region and Indo-Pacific. So Indo-Pacific is again very important. India is concerned about the dominance of China in the region. The region being India is looking forward to partnership with many other countries that will have a potential and even curb the outreach of the China in this specific part. Now, the Defense Corporation, in addition, the controversy around the Augusta Westland VPIP choppers have disrupted the bilateral relationship between the Defense Corporation between the countries. और उसके अलावा और भी बहुत सारे इश्यूज थे जिनकी वजह से इंडिया और इटली के बीच में एक हेल्दी बायलेटरल रिलेशनशिप स्टैब्लिश नहीं हो पाई. देयर इज अ मरीन इश्यूज पार्ट दैट वाज आल्सो इन्वॉल्व. आई एम नॉट डिस्कसिंग दैट पार्ट, दैट इज नॉट एसेंशियली रिक्वायर्ड इन दिस कंटेक्स्ट. द शिप बिल्डिंग कंपनी Fincantry is an Italy known provider in technology upgradation that is also providing us in terms of indigenous India aircraft. अगर INS विक्रांत की बात करें जो एक indigenous INS है उसकी assistance, technical assistance भी इन कंपनी के थ्रू ली जा रही है, which was commercialized in last September. So these are the part of defense cooperation between India and Italy. So this was all about for the FCA. We have a lot more other initiatives for you like daily news and editorial analysis, which I covered from the Hindu and Indian Express, a comprehensive news analysis on a daily basis that will help you to gauge the entire part of the news and even build a strong foundation of the current affairs. And IS Gazetted magazines are there, which will help you for the entire part of the month current affair. FC is there. PIB as again on the monthly compilations. MPR, which is already uploaded in our YouTube channel. Check out the playlist for more details. And Gist of Yojana and Kurukshetra is something the previous month is uploaded. The very soon will be launching, will coming with the compilation for this month also. So all this initiative will help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.